Don from R&I, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to do a quick video here as to how to change out a lift mast. I've got Craig Morrison, one of our technicians here. We're going to get started. The first thing that you would do is you would disconnect the 2-button remote from the back of the power pack. So that's done. And then there is a power cord in the back here that we're going to disconnect from the power pack. So that's done. And now we're going to get Craig to come over here and we're going to take the handlebar off. You have to take the handlebar off through the top of the mast. Lifter is locked in place, so we're going to take the handlebar off first. I'll take it. And then when he comes down, we're going to take the power pack off. So you unloosen the bracket and just pick it up. And there's the power pack. Set that on the floor. We're going to run the bracket all the way back up to the top. We're going to take that off. And then this starts the procedure to unloosen the mast from the two bottom intermediate and top intermediate. So the first thing he's going to do is there's 4 bolts right here that he's going to unloosen, and you need a 13 millimeter Allen or 13 millimeter socket in order to get those unloosened. Next, what he's going to do is he's going to go down to the lower intermediate. There's a 5 millimeter Allen here, 1 in here in the back, and there's going to be 2 in the front, and he's going to unloosen those next. Here, give me. Okay, so now the mast is completely loose from the base, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick the mast up off of the base and get it off of the lifter so that you can see how it's going to go back on again. Gloves. Yeah, you need some work gloves on in order to pick this thing up. You want me to help you? No. So just come straight up, okay? So that's basically the way you get the mast off. And now to put it back on again, we're going to put all the bolts and everything back in place. Let's see here. So there is a washer and an acorn nut here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we got the acorn nuts back on again, and we're going to push this bracket out. Do you want to use the pad, Craig? So what we do is we put a small wooden block just underneath here to push everything forward so that these posts will stay out when we drop the mast back over the intermediate section. So now we go up and you line up there you go, and slide it right over. Okay, now it's back over there. We want to make sure that the mast is engaged with the slide. So you can pull up on the mast a little bit and just make sure that it's seated. You'll see that it's not seated right here, but when you pull up on this black slide, you'll see that it's actually seated in there once it engages with the. Now it's seated. And now it's just a matter of running all the bolts and everything back in and put everything back the way it should. So the 2 front 5 millimeter go in here. I'll put one more in the back, and you can tighten them up.
Go ahead, tighten those ones up front there, and I'll get these in there for you.
So now he's just tightening up the lower 5mm bolts or socket head or flathead screws on the bottom. And now he's going to come back and he's going to put his 13mm on his impact wrench, and we're going to tighten up the two on the top and 2 on the bottom to lock the lift mast to the intermediate section. Get back up on the ladder and I'll give you this stuff. So now we're going to get back up on the ladder and we're going to run the bracket down. And we're also going to run down the handlebar. And then we're going to put the power pack back on. Then we'll tighten the power pack back in place with the bracket. We will then grab the connection from below. We'll hook it back up to the power pack. We'll take the 2-button remote, hook that back into the back and back on the handlebar, and you're done. See if that works for you. Thank you very much.